There we are. Here we are. There you are. And where is the stats man?
Somewhere.
In the ether. There he is. From a busy day. He's a busy man. He's got meetings coming out of every orifice. And there's a phone going from me asking me for a meeting. No. The answer's no. No meetings. I don't care. No. Well, what can I say? It's been an interesting day, and I'm not answering that phone. I'm just going to let it carry on, and then
I can hear some music or something.
No, it's going out. Not interested. Okay, here we go. Right. Big stories, the ones that we're going to get to, apart from all the other little things that go on. Polanski and our man Burnham and social care. This man thinks that he can just tax his way out of anything. Anything. It's going to, it's going to happen.
Socialist way, innit? We'll just...
boom and bust. I'm a boomer, by the way. What are you? Are you generation...
I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp?
I'm on the cusp.
Well, okay.
Definitely not a boomer.
Here's two people on the cusp.
He looks like a cartoon character, to be honest, doesn't he?
Let's introduce a 20% business rates cut for pubs.
Good idea, Robin. We will need to rob the elderly, perhaps, with an increase of tax.
That won't be a problem, taxman, and I know just the place to begin.
Why do they always do that with their hips?
What is all that commotion outside?
Jeremy, darling, I don't know. Let's investigate.
Oh, Rupee won't like that one.
My, what on earth have we done to deserve visit from these strapping lads? My goodness, Jeremy, this is a bit of us, my dear, a bit of us!
Don't get too excited, lads. I'm here to tax you so we can pay for our 20% business rates cut for pubs.
Robbing? Put all your valuables into here for His Majesty's revenue and cumshin. But you can't do that, it's not fair! Oh, no, you didn't, boy!
If only.
Captain Conservative will never allow the elderly to be taxed.
We should introduce socialism and nationalisation to pay for it.
No, Nigel, that's communism. You always did prefer France to England.
I mean, they're crazy with what they do, but I mean, it's funny. Batman and robbing. Do you not like that?
The AI's getting better that they're using however they're doing this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Okay. And what would happen in the US if there were no Republicans?
Oh.
No. Zero. Zero Republicans.
Probably be zero Americans left eventually. Yeah, I was going to say with the...
It ends up, when you do communism right, it works perfectly and everyone loves it.
And it only took 200 million starving to get here.
That's less than half as many as we thought.
There has been another terrorist attack with 33 dead. The American government has decided not to do anything about it since we probably deserved it.
It sure is great that abortion is now free and available for everyone everywhere.
Yeah, but it's too bad that there aren't any babies to abort since we outlawed being a heterosexual.
Murdering those families was wrong, but you're an immigrant and you probably just didn't know any better. Plus, we shut down all prisons. You're free to go.
This is wrong! You need to lock him up!
How dare you question our compassion? Execute that man immediately! I found more letters we need to add to the acronym.
It's already so large, it's throwing off the rotation of the Earth. If we add any more letters, we'll die.
Then we die! Everyone just stay in line and walk through the scanner. It's going to check how dark your skin is to see how many benefits you get.
If I were you, I wouldn't bother.
The U.S. has run out of money.
Can't we just murder more billionaires and confiscate their wealth?
There are no more left. I'm afraid someone in our country is actually going to have to get a job and work.
Bernie. There you go.
Well,
what can I say? No?
I mean,
That's Babylon B, by the way. They're great.
Yeah,
I do like them.
But, although it was a joke, that's probably actually the reality of it eventually, because we're halfway there, aren't we?
Indeed.
But the old thing is that this is the problem with the socialists. Literally, I think I've said this before, but we'll apply it to America. If you literally took everything off all the billionaires in America, right?
Yeah.
Just took, everything off them, right? All the assets, everything, right? You still wouldn't be able to fund the government budget for 1 year.
No.
I don't know what these people... I was going to say, I don't know what these people think, but you need a brain to think. But anyway.
Well, you're thinking about how tax is spent, right? Here's a quick, flick on how tax is spent in the UK.
Like James Bond.
I know.
We're skint apparently.
Well, if you look at that, we're talking about, we're still sending foreign aid to countries that really don't need it. So you look at those budgets, but oh my God, welfare and benefits. Check that out. So tell me,
it's the biggest one of the lot, isn't it? I think.
Well, NHS and healthcare, 205 billion. So tell me, why do you think it's losing money?
It's just being creamed, isn't it? It's being absolutely milked.
Nail on the head, as always, Stats. Nail on the head.
Don't forget, the amount of waste will be through the roof. And then the amount of people who are siphoning money off into their own pockets, which we never find out about, that's probably going to be a chunk of it.
Would you like a brief explanation of that?
Oh, go on then.
Why does the NHS pay £8 for a paracetamol that costs 2p to make? Let me explain. Mr. Stick owns a pharmaceutical company. It costs him 2p to produce one paracetamol, but he sells it to the NHS for £8. That is a 39,900% profit margin. But why does the NHS pay this much? Because Mr. Stick owns the patent. No other company can make the same drug, so the NHS has no choice. It must buy from Mr. Stick at whatever price Mr. Stick sets. And where does NHS money come from? From your taxes. So you pay taxes, the government gives that money to the NHS gives that money to Mr. Stick. Your taxes go straight into his pocket. But it gets even worse. The research to develop that drug was partly funded by the government with your taxes. So you paid for the research, and now you pay again to buy the drug. Mr. Stick gets paid twice, and you pay twice. The NHS is not broken. It is being drained by companies like Mr. Stick's.
What you
The system
just
was
said.
not designed to keep you healthy. It was designed to make Mr. Stick rich. Every time you are ill, Mr. Stick gets richer. If you want to wake up from the system, subscribe.
There you go. And
That sounds a bit like... It sounds a bit like the... I was watching something about 7 things why everyone's not like... Don't look like they used to in the 70s. I don't mean demographics. I mean health-wise. And one of them, similar to that, was school lunches.
Yep.
So every kid used to get an actual balanced
meal
in
every
school.
day. Yeah.
Then it kind of turned into, we're going to make profit off this and like a business. And unfortunately, it was whatever the kids wanted to choose. And that was the unhealthy stuff.
Yeah.
So they just threw generations and generations of children under the bus.
Indeed.
Sounds like it's similar with this. It's just
And
being made.
you wonder why we're having the health problems that we're having now. Well, here's another reason why money's disappearing out of the country. And do you like Starbucks?
Starbucks has done it again.
Never been
Zero
there,
corporation tax. £556 million in UK sales last year. 90 plus new stores. Still a £41 million loss. Like sell more coffee, open more stores, still make a loss. Funny that. So how do they do it? Every year, the UK arm pays tens of millions in royalty and licence fees to the parent company, its own parent company, basically paying itself to use its own brand and own coffee recipes. On paper, those fees equate to a loss. And a loss on paper means no tax owed once again. I don't know about you, but the fact that I have to pay a new tax every single time I breathe in London, this pisses me off big time.
But again, though, that's the way the system's set up. So I'm not being funny, my love, but if you was running Starbucks, you'd be doing exactly the same thing.
Well, yeah, I can see from that point of view. But I mean, would you want to sell the World Cup?
Why are you selling the World Cup?
FIFA.
Why are they skinned too?
No, I think somebody is out to make a lot of money, and I know that the Americans and some sovereign wealth funds are interested.
Who's
so the
buying
big
it,
corporates
Trump?
are moving in.
Who's buying it, Trump? Sounds like something like, I want the World Cup.
Well, he seemed to be quite close to whatever that guy's name. What is his name? Infantino? Or
Did you see him? He tried to get on the end of when they were lifting the World Cup. But then Infantino kind of managed to coax him away, and he stood for a second, and then he was like, you can tell he wanted to be there, going yay when they lifted.
Well, I know that UEFA and FIFA. Sorry, who is the World Cup people? I can't remember.
FIFA do the world football, and then UEFA
That's
do
it.
the European.
And who do the national one in this country?
The FA.
The FA, right? Sweet FA. This is over 18s. Don't get annoyed now. Over 18s.
Did you winks? Get to bed.
Yes.
Shouldn't be watching this anyway.
I'm beginning to sound like Biden. Where have you heard those tapes?
Pressure. No, you've got a way to go till you chat absolute broken biscuits like it, mate.
Well, they're true. They're true. If you listen to those tapes, anyway. Vauxhall. Stellantis own Vauxhalls. Have a quick look at this.
£20 billion. That is how much money the company that owns Vauxhall lost in a single year. Not over a decade, not across a recession, 1 year. It is the worst annual loss any car maker has ever posted, and it belongs to the company that owns the badge on 1 million British driveways. The same year it lost that money, it shut the factory in Luton that had been building British cars since 1905. And there is a third thing, something most Vauxhall owners still do not know. Sitting under the bonnet of hundreds of thousands of British cars is an engine that was designed to destroy itself. An engine that has left owners with repair bills worth more than the car. If you drive a Vauxhall, a Peugeot, a Citroën or a DS, stay with me, because by the end of this, you will know whether yours is one of them.
20 billion they've lost. So they've already closed down Luton. And I can remember Justin coming on and being so proud about what they were doing. Now, at that time, I thought it was a French company. Obviously, the French company has been bought out, and they were getting public money. So it's all a big stitch-up behind the scenes. You haven't got a Vauxhall, have you?
No, but again, there's the outrage, isn't there, when it's about to close, and it's like, well, why should the public have to save them? Unfortunately, if they're losing money, and I know it's not good, people losing jobs, but the government's always banging on about how many new jobs they're creating. So create some new ones, then go on.
Well, why are they losing 20 bill? It's because nobody is buying the new cars.
Mm.
The prices are too high.
It doesn't help when the engine kills itself.
So there's no longevity to it. So people are sort of, people are savvy.
YouTube might like that.
You know,
the car kills itself.
We had this discussion with Ned when we were talking about the algorithms, and you can't work anything out.
stop trying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the Vauxhalls need to get a bit better at what they're doing then, I'm afraid.
Well,
because there's other people there now who are coming in, and everyone seems to be buying cars from the east,
Chinese.
yeah. Which, I mean, they're reliable.
They are.
Good to drive.
JQ is another one. I mean, they're making
and all,
good.
Hyundai and all them others. You know, I think they seem to be a bit cheaper.
Yep.
So
they are a lot cheaper.
And everyone's skinned today. So what would you do? You'd go for I mean, they don't look too bad. They perform well, and they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in the early days, you know, a really expensive car had all the cons on it, like an automatic window.
Bro, but again, it all comes down to cheap energy again, mate. If we were self-sufficient and we could subsidise some of our businesses with cheap energy, like the Chinese do, we'd clean up. And that's exactly how they're doing it, mate. You don't have to worry about that.
You think about it, they can build a power station in less than a year. And look at us.
Lucky if we can build a house. And then even if we do, the guys who building them, in the government don't know how many we're building anyway.
I mean,
it's a bit of a mess.
Do we need new homes?
No, we just need we need less people, don't we? So millions must go, and then we won't need to build so many houses, will we? It's a simple fact, isn't it? Really, that when I was younger, we had plenty of houses.
Yeah. Well, here's a councillor, and his name's Councillor Sam Gascoigne. Listen to what he has to say about housing. See that lovely segue there when you mentioned it quite naturally?
Before you do, is there any relation to Paul?
No. But he does score a really great goal with this statement. Listen to this.
The fog on the tyne.
The fog on the tyne.
100% convinced with this idea that we desperately need new homes, or at least we shouldn't need new homes. Our birth rate's collapsed massively. The only reason why, in fact, the population is going up is simply because of drunk, out-of-control immigration. And yes, don't get me wrong, compared to the even drunker, out-of-control immigration under Boris Johnson, it's improved, but nonetheless, it's still way too high. I have a controversial solution. Perhaps we could just deport maybe, I don't know, 1 million illegal migrants, and that might solve the problem anyway. But that aside, I actually have something I never thought I'd say. I actually agree with Labour on one key thing, and that is the previous government did indeed fail horrifically. And despite making pledges to curb immigration, they made it worse. I do regret voting for Boris Johnson. The thing, though, that was highlighted that I did think was notable was the need to build council homes. Now, that's a really, laudable idea until another government gets in and then sells them all again. And I see it as a sort of a self-defeating cycle of, we built all these new homes and now the next government has sold them. And you can put a load of protections in place, but the new government will just get rid of those and then sell them all, because who doesn't want a cheap new home? The one, though, that's standing out for me that I'm really struggling, particularly in Brentwood, is the fact that we have a 70,000-ish population in Brentwood, but if we build 14,000 new homes, we're looking at a 25% population increase. Our birth rate isn't that high, and even the immigration rate isn't that high. I'm struggling to see where these numbers are, except for the fact that I noticed that we're very close to London. And frankly, I don't think the people of Brentwood should have to pay for London's failures to curb its population, or at least build enough houses so they build them more than we are. Completely unfair. And then on local plans, honestly, it feels like Sophie's Choice, in the sense that whatever you do, you're going to take a savage beating for accepting toxic housing prices. And I hate to give some level of credit to the previous government, but at least with the Tories, there was some level of sanity and cap on how many houses we were going to do. But 14,000? Seriously? That's mad. Absolutely mad. I think perhaps, though, the biggest last thing I'll end on is kind of the almost hypocrisy here. The current Labour government insists that it's for the environment, and yet bulldozers all over the environment to build a load of solar farms and also houses. How is that in any way sane, or indeed at least not totally hypocritical? And what I appeal to everybody in this room is that the countryside is indeed our legacy. It is something that hopefully my children, grandchildren, etc., will actually get to enjoy, instead of becoming some sort of mega London superstate, which is what we're currently on course for. So please do back this motion, and please defend our countryside. Thank you.
Well, I thought that was quite common sense. You see, I think that the policies that people come up with are more important than the party they represent. If they come up with good policies, which you do, I mean, we've seen them before, deport, because you were the first one in there.
I'm going to be honest, the answer to everything's simple.
Yeah,
and
get rid.
They come out with policies and everyone's like, yay, but have they ever actually upheld or completed any of them? Upheld, rather. No, they haven't, have they? I mean, he touched on immigration. I mean, how long has everyone been voting against it? I think we said this maybe last week. Well, Labour are going around now claiming, and I heard someone interviewed today saying, well, we've lowered immigration by 80% or whatever it is. Okay, you might have lowered net immigration, but that's not going to help our demographic replacement because, all right, maybe they've knocked down the amount of people coming from abroad by, I don't know, 400,000, but the amount of people leaving's gone up. So you've got 800,000 coming and 600,000 going, but the ones going, as we've said, there's a lot of young Brits off elsewhere looking for opportunity.
Well,
so therefore, it's still not the right type of people coming in. In fact, we don't want anyone really coming in, and until we can stop it and reverse it, it's never going to get any better. You're going to keep needing more houses. And then he mentioned hypocrisy.
Yeah,
it's the same with our local council, claiming they've eliminated this much carbon and that much carbon from all their council buildings, etc.
What difference does it make?
Well, remember I did the equations on how much carbon they've actually put back into the atmosphere by all the houses they built around here recently, and it far outweighed the little tiny amount of carbon they've saved. So it is a environmental cult, and it's virtue signalling.
Well, where's all the money that we're supposed to be saving with all these solar farms and wind? Because wind and the sun are free. They're free. The expenses involved are in the making of the solar panels, the installation and maintenance. The same way with the big windmills. That's it. It's the maintenance. Now, it doesn't take that very many people to maintain them. So if that's all free, why is electricity from these farms so expensive?
If all this crap worked by now, we'd be self-sufficient in... I'll tell you what, if it was wind, we would be running at a plus because the government are full of it, mate, and it's constant, isn't it? So, I mean, they alone could probably power the country for 17 million years with the wind that comes out of their mouths. But
you remember Andrew Gold and Liam Tufts, both good interviewers. I mean, they really are. They're Liam's interviewing Andrew Gold, and they're having a go at Islam. So I haven't check this out because you're talking about getting rid of people.
Very have-a-goable, isn't it? To be honest,
very windy.
Unfortunately, the leftists have shown they got Islam into power, like the frog helped the scorpion, and the scorpion stung it, which is Islam stung the leftists, killed them all the next day. 40, 50 years later, we're sitting here with another bunch of leftists. They're humans, just like the humans in Iran, just like the humans in Afghanistan. They have the same brains. They do the same things. They're trying to get Muslims now, or Islamism, into power. They're trying to help them to do that. And they will be killed right after. You and me, we better not be anywhere near this country when that happens.
Correct.
So I don't think in 3 years there's going to be a large enough population of Muslims in the country. I'm not sure about 7 or 8 years. That might be our last sort of chance. But, the next election, 13, 14 years down the line, it's hard to predict the future. But that is the time where I would say a lot of us will be either leaving the country or preparing for civil war.
Yeah, it's a very frightening future, what may lay ahead. And if you look at the trajectory, it's kind of irrefutable that is where we're heading.
Okay, so, yes, they're saying things that you've said before, but your predictions are different for the numbers if we carry on the way that we are. So just explain your numbers.
Which numbers?
About the takeover.
You mean when we become a minority in our own country?
Yeah.
Not necessarily who's going to take it over. Well, people are saying 2066, but when I worked it out at its current trajectory, it's going to be probably 10 years before that. Right. Even if when we went through certain scenarios, and even if someone like Reform got in and even if they stopped immigration until you sort the birth rate out, It's not going to fix it. It's just going to take a little longer.
Right.
Could be the end of the century or something maybe.
Okay.
It's not looking good. Well, then we done one on Islam, didn't we? And I mean that was set to literally almost disappear too eventually, but long after we have. So it's not a good situation we find ourselves in.
Well, between the left and Islam, I mean, we had a joke at the left's expense regarding that LGBTQ plus cruise that went, and they were rebuffed by Turkey and Egypt. So we're getting attacked from different sides, really. It's not just them. It's also the political side as well.
Well, we are. But I think we can say this every week. We don't really know the answer. Why don't they quite get it? Because my journey through politics, I've bumped into. It's funny the people you bump into along the way, and a lot of gays and Jews are involved in politics because they know what's coming with Islam.
Yeah, and they're warning. They're warning.
And these are people who you wouldn't know they were gay or Jewish or whatever. They're not the typical ones who bounce around using it to their advantage. They're just normal people who are terrified, mate.
Yeah, and I can understand why, because we're talking about parallel communities, because they're not integrating.
Let's look at the situation. What, about 7% or something that we know of? I think it's way higher. And the amount of oxygen it takes up and the amount of problems we're having already at 7%.
Yeah.
Look at France. They're probably maybe double that. They could be double that number. They do not monitor any of it at all. I mean, our figures are sketchy. You could probably add a bit onto everything that they say, but in France, they've got no clue, and it's a total mess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's move it on to our two main stories, and here it is. This is Zach Polanski and the Victoria Derbyshire interview.
It's not the first time you have shared something that afterwards you have regretted. 3 months ago, you retweeted criticism of the police's handling of the Golders Green attack. You apologised after that for, quote, sharing the post in haste. I don't really understand why you haven't learned.
Well, that was a totally different situation where I did make a misjudgment, and that's why I apologised for it. It wasn't inadvertent. I read it and then reshared it. I think there's
so there is a question about your judgment then, isn't there?
Well, I think there's a question.
One, you read it and retweeted it. One, you didn't you didn't read it and shared it anyway.
Other politicians don't use social media in the way that I do, and that's because, again, they often have the press to back their arguments. I believe in being in grassroots community. I believe in being in spaces. I actually collaborated with 8 people that evening.
Okay. Do you, just forgive me, do you still want to be Prime Minister? Do you still want to be in power?
I want to make sure that there's a Green government, whether I'm Prime Minister in the future or not.
Okay,
I want to keep making sure.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, because these mistakes involving social media could be described as careless at best, dangerous at worst. You would forgive voters, surely then, for potentially thinking you might be careless or dangerous with their lives or their safety or their money if you were in power.
She's got a point, hasn't she?
I have a job to do to make sure that I
Is that
build
fair,
trust.
what I have just... Right.
Yes,
so voters would be forgiven for thinking that because of these kind of mistakes. And you're saying, yeah, that's fair. They've got a right to think that.
And it's my job to make sure that I build trust, that I demonstrate through my actions and through my behaviour, that I have people's values and their best interests at heart. I think lots of people watching this will recognise that people make mistakes and people make inadvertent mistakes. I'm particularly in a position where that mistake means you end up on live TV talking about it, and I accept that because I have a position of responsibility.
Yeah.
I also think no matter how much responsibility you have, whether you're leader of a political party or a Prime Minister, you make mistakes. The point is, what do you do about that mistake? How do you learn and how do you move on from it?
Well, here's Yusuf.
I cannot believe I'm saying this in a video. Zach Polanski, the leader of the Green Party, has just posted to his 700,000 followers on Instagram a photo of a man wearing a T-shirt calling for the beheading of Nigel Farage. I'm going to say that again. The leader of the Green Party, Zach Polanski, has posted to his Instagram a photo of a man calling for the beheading of Nigel Farage. This comes just over 2 weeks after our dear friend Anne Widdecombe was brutally murdered in her home.
Has he got a point?
Yes and no. The T-shirt doesn't say everybody going behead Nigel Farage, does it?
No, but he says we're making plans, and a guillotine is for chopping heads off.
Okay, so he says he's making plans. Okay, let's look at it in like with a normal brain. It's just one of them stupid novelty T-shirts. He probably isn't making plans, but he's got a point because someone did make plans. Because with the Anne Widdecombe thing, I've been thinking about this, mate. So,
yeah,
one, he somehow knew where she lived, which would be, it's not something you can just Google, is it? Probably.
No.
Two, he knew she was there. In my opinion, and I can only speculate, I say he, allegedly, whoever did it, there was some planning went into this, and I don't think they worked alone. What, did he just ring her up and say, "Hi, Anne, are you home today?" That's a long drive to come down for, ready to
that's a
batter
long
someone
drive.
with a hammer if they're not there. So he knew she was there. He knew where she lived. And he knew the security would be lapsed. Did he know the door would be open? Who just goes down there just willy-nilly, just on the off chance that you'll bump into it?
No,
Sorry.
it was intentional.
No, it was well planned.
Yeah.
It must have been.
Well,
Or it was extremely lucky,
see.
John. Extremely lucky. A stupid plan and extremely lucky. And I'm sorry, I'm just not having that.
Well, I can see the sensitivity of something like that. When they, we are looking at murders here. We are looking at politically motivated and ideologically motivated murders in this country, which we're hearing more and more about every day. So I can understand the sensitivity. What I would say is that I think if something is in bad taste, then yes, it should be said. But I think that Zach Polanski should have just turned around and said, "Listen, I'm sorry about that." Because especially at that time, it's a sensitive issue. So I am really sorry about that. It could have been a joke because we joke about things and then we get videos taken off.
Yeah, well, that's something I've just written down. So how come mistakes from the right are punished harshly?
Yeah.
When it's the lefties, they just go on Victoria Derbyshire for 5 minutes. He's going to give him a grilling. He's going to contradict himself and say, "Okay, yeah, I shouldn't have done it." Which, do you know what? After the event, some of the things he does, he is slightly better than some people, where he'll hold his hands up and say, "All right, I've made a mistake." But as you said, there wasn't really one this time. I think he said he wants to build trust. I don't think you can trust him. You can't trust him to do due diligence on his own social media. But then again, we know it wasn't him who probably put that out, was it?
No, it was probably somebody in his team who made a mistake.
But you can probably vouch for this. Whenever you've been involved with a party and you're doing social media, you've got to be very, very careful because you're representing the party and lots of other people as well. And maybe locally and nationally, you're representing other people. So quite frankly, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have put anything like that out at all.
No,
you should stick to your facts, stick to what your party represents, and stick to highlighting issues that the other parties aren't fixing, or your council or the government. I don't see why you have to have silly memes and collaborating with people. As soon as you start collaborating with people on social media, you open up a
can of worms. It is,
aren't you? Because imagine if Rupert Lowe started doing the same with some people on social media. It wouldn't take long for something to pop up on a T-shirt or an account here and there that'd just drag him down. So that he's not the guy who should be running the country, and he's not the guy who should be running a party. And unfortunately, he's just like a university student, and he sounds like he's still learning his lessons.
Well, he's the eternal university student because he just hasn't grown up.
And he's not even an MP, is he?
No, he's just the leader.
What's with these people? I'm sorry, there's one on the screen there. He's said to be a shadow what? And he doesn't he's not in Parliament.
Well, here's...
Not even tried.
Here's a green.
So before you move on, final point.
All I seem to be doing today is making videos about the absolutely bonkers state of affairs in the UK, in Britain, in England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. This one is going to make you laugh or cry, depending on your viewpoint. So, in the elections that took place on Thursday in this country, in Scotland, a member of the Scottish Parliament was elected it was a Green Party representative. This person is not a British citizen, has never been a British citizen, is not even close to becoming a British citizen. Were you aware that people could stand for election and become members of Parliament or representatives of democracy who were non-Brits?
There you go.
Just one last point on that other thing. Everyone's missing the point. Why isn't the guy with the T-shirt the one being questioned?
Well, this is the thing. They head for the target figure, don't they?
Yeah, to try and crucify him politically, which when it's Polanski, that's fine by me. But do you know what I mean, though? It's like, you're all missing the point. Like, why is the guy... Okay, if the T-shirt's as much of a problem as some of these signs and posters of protest, then he should be the one in trouble. And then we'll move on.
Okay, well, we're going to go on to our main story because we're coming to the end of the show. And this is a little bit of a skit on Burnham's week. You like this, Mark.
Things I've done in my first week as Prime Minister. On Monday, I launched a new national drive to end rough sleeping. On Tuesday, I announced a tax cut on energy bills. Wednesday, a £2 cap on bus fares across England.
Look at this, Mark. Look.
All the important stuff, eh?
Thursday, a 20% cut on business rates for thousands of pubs, clubs and music venues. And on Friday, I opened number 10 North, which is going to drive power out of Whitehall and Westminster into every postcode across the country.
Of course it is, yeah. How's that going to even work?
People said these things can't be done, that rough sleeping is just a fact of life, that your bills and transport fares can't be cheaper, that your local pub, well, it's just going to have to close. And
see what I mean? And we're having a laugh at his expense, but people should laugh at these things because they're meaningless. And thanks to Ray I for waking the world with bad AI. Right.
Do you know?
Super.
Just slightly off topic, but on topic. This guy could have done Manchester a massive favour.
Yeah.
Because although he's not. I still can't even say this properly. He's the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Fucking that hurt, mate. Where'd he come from? We've got a chance of getting somebody else in Manchester as the mayor now. Somebody
Yes.
might not like. Maybe someone decent.
Because the election tomorrow?
Yes.
Tell us about it. Come on.
And there's, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. It's the normal people. I'll have to read them out, I suppose, in case someone...
Wait a minute. Is Count Binface on there?
No.
Oh.
No. I think he's busy, isn't he? So you've got Sean, is it? Astley from Reform UK, Geraldine Goggins from the Green Party, Bev Craig, I think she's female, from Labour. Have a look. Phil Eckersley from the Conservatives. You've got Marcus Farmer, an independent. Don't even know why he's bothering. Who else? Richard Kilpatrick from the Lib Democrats. And then the one people, I don't want to tell anyone who to vote for in the Manchester election, but Marlon West sounds pretty good. His daughter was sadly a victim or a survivor, whatever you want to say, of the grooming.
Of the grooming gang.
I don't want to use that word, but you know what the flipping YouTube like.
Wow.
So I mean, out of all them people, who do you think? Well, it won't be Labour, will it? Because homelessness, well, that didn't work, did it? The cons, are they finished? Is it going to be between, I don't know, Reform, Labour?
Restore.
Hopefully Restore will get a good chunk of it. I mean, if you want someone to sort out the serious problems...
Well, it's got to be either Restore or Reform. It's got to be those. I would say Restore, actually.
I mean, if I lived in Manchester, I'm not telling people who to vote for, but I'd be voting for Marlon myself all day long. I mean, what? Okay, buses and all these minuscule things, Andy Burnham's chatting crap about, yet all roads lead to immigration, unfortunately.
Well, here's...
It's the root of all our evils, isn't it, mate?
Okay, well, let's move...
It's why we're
let's get...
replaced.
I agree. Let's get him on, because this is his big one today. Now, this is about the dereliction of duty. And he's going to start taxing everybody to pay for care.
I mean, it's a major dereliction of public duty. that Parliament has not faced up to this, of all challenges, something so fundamental to life as this. It's shameful, to be honest, that politicians have put point scoring before fixing this issue. But that's what's happened. It's created a feeling in Westminster that this is too difficult. And if you take it on, you're taking on too big a political risk. Or how can we have got to a position where it's too difficult to fix the basic care that we give to each other that
you've been around, mate.
Human beings receive. I mean, how has Parliament got itself to that position?
You've been there, you tell us.
Well, what I want to know is, okay, so he's going to make caregivers care workers, the most well paid in the country. Where is the money coming from?
Oh, Mikhail Bernachov there. He'll have a magic money tree, won't he? How come with these socialists, right? It's fine when they bang on politically about all these subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when they're in power and they don't want people to bang on about those subjects, it's, don't politicise this, that. How can you not politicise all the political stuff? It doesn't make sense. Don't politicise social care. Well, how are you going to fix it then? It's a political problem, is it not? Like pretty much everything.
Well, it's a strange thing because somebody's going to get hit to pay for it, and he's talking about helping the students out to get things sorted out with their big student bills, and this is all jam tomorrow. Now, what's the point of what he is doing? What's the point?
He's using it politically to get votes. All this shit he's saying, he's never going to pull any of it off. And half of it's meaningless in the great scheme of things anyway, isn't it? Like a pound off a bus. I'd rather that there wasn't constant rapes and murders from foreigners every day. Yeah. We've got enough of our own people to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Without extra problems, heartache, misery, death.
So he's there now, and he's appealing to take the toxicity out of the brand. And he's doing, I mean, they are only tiny things. He's robbing Peter to pay Paul to do some of these little tiny things.
That's funny there, though. Have you seen that? Calls for politics that puts differences aside. So you're going to work with reform, you're going to work with restoring Rupert Lowe, you're going to do the best.
because he was actually, he excluded them. He excluded them out of the talks.
He's going to keep calling everyone far right. He's not going to sort out the two-tier policing. In fact, he's probably going to double down on it, and everyone will be going to jail for memes again. And let's put it all aside. Is he going to work with the Conservatives? Is he? Honestly, they just chat shit to get votes, mate, and then they say don't make it political. Well, I'm sorry, politicians are the reason the problem we're in, and is going to be the only way to fix it is politics. So yeah, politicize everything, please.
Yeah, it is the only way. Well,
John,
it's been great talking to you once again. We're going to start very soon bringing on guests to interview them and get their different views. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I've missed having people on, mate. We've had some good ones in the past, haven't we?
It's not that I'm getting bored with your company, sir. Not at all. It's always an interesting thing to have a chat with you about these things.
Well, it's a shame I can't say the same. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. No, it's been nice when we've had people on in the past. So yeah.
Yeah, get different views, and especially a different view, a different angle on things is not a bad thing. Except when they're out and out lefties.
No, I'd be game for having some of them on, just mocking them. I wouldn't.
Are you sure?
I wouldn't debate them. It's like debating a short plank, isn't it?
Well, indeed.
You know what I mean? So,
all right, sir. Well, here is our end vid, and it's from Join the Resistance, as usual, and it's called Burnham's Britain. Right, we'll see everybody on Friday. Thank you very much for all those people that dropped in. And yes, we will be getting the reels out as soon as. And thank you for the comments.
That's no problem. Thanks for being here and being the host. Thanks to all our lovely viewers. Nearly said listeners. God, I'm still stuck with the audio in the past. And I'm not going to tell anyone who to vote for, but vote Marlon West.
A little bit of bias there.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke that off, Com. In fact, you know what you can do with your pipe. You can plug it.
Indeed. Okay, here's Burnham's Britain.
My name's Andy Burnham. I launched a coup and became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Then I woke up in 1974. Am I mad? In a coma? Or back in time? Whatever's happened, it's like I'm living on another planet. Now maybe, if I work out the reason, I can get home.
It's a glorious dream he's got.
Love life on Mars.
Of a Britain the 70s wrought. But the unions have all gone to sleep, and the council blocks crumble to heaps. Now he takes to his platform grand, waving union flags across the land. He's presenting his master plan for a 3-day week working man. But the dream has no mass appeal. He's planned it since Makerfield. He would leave the whole country torn as he begs us to carry on. Big men striking at the town hall. Oh man, back to that pitiful woe. It's the 70s.
Look at the platforms.
I wish he would go to sleep and wake up in 74 so we don't have to do it again. That wasn't me inciting time travel.
He's the ghost of the decade below. Burnham's bright new stars.
They were great times.
Through the door, a convicted fraudster wanting more.
That's what I mean. Snake's not polished on the left.
And taking us all for mugs. She's dancing right through the doors, from Ibiza to the Brighton shores. Mad Ed, foreign secretary, doing the rounds. Trump says he's deeply alarmed by the clown. Labor mandate is being ignored by the same useless twats as before. They will leave the whole country broke, and the world thinks we're a joke. MPs laughing at the public's woes. Oh man, watch as the outrage grows. Welcome to the Burnham Show. Take a look at the candles lighting up your homes again. Oh man, everybody bloody knows he's the ghost of the decade below. Burnham's bright new star. Burnham's bright new start. Burnham's bright new
Join the resistance. See you, everybody.